So today we're going to talk about charting your professional learning path, a strategic approach. So just as an introduction, I am Rhonda Blackburn. I am the Chief Information Officer for TxDLA, along with the Professional Development Co-Chair. And I absolutely love doing these, as I always learn something, but today I get to do it. So it'll be fun. My partner in crime, usually that's here, she's not able to be here today, but Kelly Irwin, she's my other professional development co-chair, and she is with learning.com and does a lot of digital literacy and as a life skill. So this is our TxDLA Bite-Size Learning webinars. If you didn't get here through our website, you can always go to our website at txdla.org and go to learn and to bite-size learning. You'll see the different ones that we have. We have a lot planned for this, at least the beginning of this year, except for next month. We are working on that right now. But definitely go in there, and you can also see past webinars that we've done as well, and other things that TxDLA is doing. Again, today we are charting your professional learning path, a strategic approach. Next month, keep an eye out to what we're going to do. We have some plans, but hasn't completely gelled yet. I wanted to remind everyone that Leap to the Future is our 2025 conference, and it is in Denton this year, March 30th through April 2nd. And we also have the virtual part of that, which is April 22nd to the 23rd. We would love for you to join us. The program is out, it's online, so you can go and see what we are doing. This is a Zoom meeting. And so we are recording this, so that way you can come back and watch it at any time. You can definitely chat with me. I would love to chat with you as we're going through this webinar. And also definitely keep your thing on mute. It looks like everyone's on mute, so I'm not going to worry about that, but you can unmute and talk to me as well. And you can also show your video if you want to. So now let's start talking about charting your professional learning path, a strategic approach. So so some of the things that I want to talk about with y'all today is why professional learning, assessing where you are, personalized learning roadmap, navigating certifications, and personal network learning network. So that's kind of the things that we're going to talk about. And so let's jump into it. So why professional learning? One of the things that I've always loved, as I've both as a supervisor or manager, also as a professional myself, is about professional development, especially in our day and time and with technology in our field. It seems like it's changing all the time, and more stuff is coming out, especially with AI coming out, and changing a lot of things, everyone using it within their product, but also just technology itself. It gets better, some things go away, some things come. And so always being able to know what's out there and how can you take advantage of that. So I would love to see if I could figure out, hold on, where is mine? I think I covered up here it is. Go into my chat for a moment here. And one of the things that I would love for y'all to share is, right now, when you think about professional learning, what does it actually mean to you? If you can throw out in the chat, or you can open up your mic and let me know what is professional learning. What does that mean to you? Hi, Tammy.
Hi, Rhonda. Rhonda, I'll start. Admittedly, I am always on a path to continuous learning, and I am trying to not only just develop myself, but trying to align my skill development and create a path for myself that aligns with the university's uh, program development goals. Um,
Mhm.
I work in equal opportunity services. More specifically, I am the executive director of digital accessibility, and I've been developing a digital accessibility program. So it's doing everything from auditing continuing education courses that we offer to the public to make sure that they are accessible, ensuring that electronic books are accessible. One of the things that I found is a package that we purchased. They sold us an e-reader, but then we found out after we purchased it that some of the publishers are actually using their own e-readers, which wasn't approved, wasn't included in part of the contract. So it's a lot of contract review. Um, I probably have 8 different major program development areas on my whiteboard at my office. I'm sorry, I'm working from the house today. The car is in the shop, but it's just constantly developing, looking out on the horizon and developing skills that are needed in order to help us get to a goal,
Mhm.
whether it's purchasing and implementing a new tool or auditing. Um, it may be developing education for our students and staff, faculty. So it's it's a moving target.
Yes, definitely. No, that was great. And I think a lot of people, when they think of professional development, are right there with you, Tammy, being able to say it really is. Not only does it develop me and give me better skills or upskill, I saw someone say upskill in the chat,
Mm-hmm.
but also how is that going to help in my role with
Mm-hmm.
what I'm doing and also with the bigger picture with what's going on wherever I work, if it's a university, if it's corporate, if it whatever it is, right? Um, and so I like, Josephine said development related to career goals. And I love that because career goals could be personal. It could be, this is where I want to go, but it could also be kind of what was Tammy was saying is that this is where we are now and where we need to focus our energy on at work and being able to navigate that career as well. And so it looks like as reading through the chat, a lot of people are saying the same thing, continued improvement, like always learning, learning to advance skills and upskilling. So I think we're all on the same page there. Yay, we're going to all talk about the same, we all have the same definition, which is great. Um, and so when it comes to doing everything that people just said in the chat, I think one of the first things is really thinking about assessing where you are. So, um, some of that can be just where your skill set. So, a lot of people are like, well, I want to upskill, but where is my skill set? Or, um, is there some competencies? And so I've been in the field a long time with competency based education, and I love competency based because it really allows you to hone in on those particular competencies for whatever it is that you're looking at. So when you think about what Josephine says, just related to my career goals, well, those career goals comes with skills and competencies that you need to master to get to those goals, um, and being able to really think about what that is. So, one of the things that I would love to see happen during this webinar is being able to let's chart our journey for 2025. And so, hopefully, you have a um, piece of paper around you, or it could be a tablet or whatever it is that you want to use. But on there, I want you to write down at least two things. One, what is your career goal? Or what are the things that you feel like this is the next step that I need to take? This is the next development that I need to do. And it could be kind of what Tammy was saying, that I want to really think about where the university is and where they're going, and how do I meet that? So, what is that goal? Or it could be literally your career goal. Maybe you are looking at moving to another type of job or another place, or that particular role within your organization. So, what are those goals that you have? So, I'm going to give you 1 minute to determine, to write down at least one goal. You have about 30 seconds. Okay, so hopefully everyone has at least one goal written down. Now, underneath that goal, what I want you to do is I want you to write out what are the skills, competencies, whatever else you want to call it, that you feel you need to focus on to meet that goal. I'm going to give you another minute. Should have music. Do, 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 do. And if anyone would like to shoot some of those competencies or skills into the chat, that would be amazing. Or you can come off mute and tell me about it. Yay! Yes, Tammy.
Rhonda, it might just be easier to tell you. I'm nearing retirement age within the next few years. In the last few years of my working career, I want to work in Italy, and I've been tracking federal jobs supporting the military. And my background is in IT security. I have IT security certifications. I'm about to complete my executive doctoral certificate, and I am an information systems auditor. So what I have already planned is that I'm going to obtain my American Management Association Certified Professional in Management, or AMA CPM certification, in February. It's already scheduled. Obtain the CISM certification. I'm going to be finishing up my doctoral certificate in March, and I really want to publish a research paper on current and irrelevant issue with your organization. I talked to somebody about it a year ago, but I just haven't done it yet. So those are my goals. So I want to hear what other people are doing.
Yes. Please share. I would love to hear what other people's goals are. No one wants to share? You can throw it in the chat if you don't want to come off mute. So Tammy, let's go back to you for a moment. Um, with all you have some amazing goals there. Can you tell me a couple of skills or competencies that you feel like, besides getting those certifications, what kind of skills or competencies do you feel like you need to master?
Well, in regards to the, say for instance, the AMA, CPM certification, the skills and competencies that are drawn out in the training course that I've been taking for several months now, it's about management, managing individuals. It's about budgeting. Oh my goodness, negotiation skills. If you can imagine the very best manager you've ever had in your life, and you can really talk about what 3 to 5 of their very best skills are, those are the things. I mean, it's about, you know, the term management is so nebulous, but it's really about negotiation. It's about developing other people. It's about delegating, learning good delegation skills. Um,
Yes.
AMAnet.org, that's a really good place to get information on that, but it's um, listening. It's about, I see some others put some really good skills on there, and it's that aligns with what they're doing. Josephine, that's really good. Um,
Yeah.
being empathetic, that's really good. Um, the CISM certification, that's Certified Information Systems Management certification. That's a technical certification, but it's really on the management side. Um, it's technical as well as managerial. It's making decisions on how to uh, manage systems as well as the individuals that administer the systems for you. And
So it sounds like a lot of the things that you're looking at has some overlapping skills or competencies that as
yes,
you're working on these, you are
mhm,
building up the skills and competencies that are related with that, which I
agreed.
love because I mean, one of the things, so one of the things that I have done in the past and I have really enjoyed was and I don't know how many people do this, but have actually tracked my career from the first job I ever had that I never thought was a career, but was a job, all the way to where I am now. And within that, putting in the skills that you either acquired or had to acquire to make sure you could do those jobs. And looking at how each one kind of a lot of the things that I've done never seem like that they overlapped. I mean, I worked with adults with disabilities, helping them like with career coaching and stuff like that. And then I was also a trainer, and I never thought those are actually the same skill sets, right? Until I like wrote it down and put in the skills and competencies that went along with that. Because then you could really see the path that your career has taken and the skills that you've developed, which is actually really cool because then you get to see, oh wow, I knew I thought I had that skill, but never thought about it in specific ways, right? Or how it overlapped with another position I had. So I love that, Tammy, when you were talking, a lot of the things were like this over here is gonna, I'm working on this skill or this competency, and then over here I'm gonna be working on this, but they're really the same, but you're able to um,
Agreed.
utilize it in different ways, right? And
Yes.
and I love that. Anybody else? I like a Tammy had said, Josephine, I love your both the listening skills, which I think we all can work on that some at times, I'm pretty sure. Um, and leadership skills. And I know that Janae also put down leadership skills as well. And um, and yes, Leroy, I think we all can work on negotiating a better salary. That is, I think, one of the hardest skills to acquire because it's really trying to bolster yourself, right? What is your value? Why are you worth being able to get more money, right? So being able to, but what are those skills? What are those competencies that actually lead you to be able to do that? And so, um, I don't know if anyone else would like to share. I saw a couple other people. Hey, Ashley. So a couple people joined us. Um, so for those that just joined, we have a something to write with. It can also be a computer. You can also type, but writing at least one goal that you have for your career and what are the skills or competencies that's going to help you do that. And so that's kind of assessing where you are, what's looking at that goal and the skills that it's required to meet that particular goal, and then also looking at where you are. What is your own skill set that you have? What are the competencies that you have at the moment? And there's going to be lots. I mean, everyone on this call probably has hundreds of different skills and competencies you have, but how do the things that you already have feed into those skills and competencies that you need to meet the goals that you want to meet? So anybody else would like to share anything before we move on? Okay. So while we're doing this, so we're already creating that personalized learning roadmap. So one of the things that you want to do is once you figure out what your goal, that overarching, where do you want to go to? What does that look like? And those skills and competencies. Then what I want you to do is I want you to create actual SMART goals. I want you to be able to be very specific in how you're actually going to get and attain those skills and competencies. So, um, where am I think? So, for anyone that hasn't done a SMART, I know a lot of people have done SMART goals, but for those that haven't, um, it stands for SMART. Or SMART. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. And honestly, out of all of those, I think the time bound part is so important because you could say that I want to um, meet, have this goal, but if you don't have a specific time frame, it makes it hard. So yes, Tammy, I love that. So a lot of everyone, well, I would say most people receive an evaluation every year. And one of the things that I would encourage you to do is take that evaluation and with either with yourself, if that's what it takes, or with your boss, or maybe even coworkers, because they'll know you pretty well too. But really talk through what are the things that's going to help make you better at what you're doing and allow you to go to that next level. Um, and with that time bound, it could be, I would say, on all your goals, especially when it comes to work, that they need to be a year or under. Because sometimes it's like, well, sometimes it takes a year because you may need to do a certification like Tammy was doing, or you may need to do certain things throughout the year that it just takes that long. But I would encourage you to create SMART goals that are very short term. What can you do now? And then longer term goals. So, what can you do within the next year? And then revisit those. I like to revisit my goals every 3 months. And then at the end of 6 months, I review them, 9 months, and then at the end of the year. And how do I need to adjust those goals at the end of the year for my next year? So that's kind of how I do it. Some people do it monthly, some people do it week, some people do it a lot more often than I do. Um, but definitely making sure that you have together a way to meet those goals. Um, and so, thinking about that, when you are putting together your SMART goal and thinking about the things that you need to do to meet your larger where you want to go, what do you want to do, and those skills and competencies. What are some of the things that you can do to do that? So one of the things that I think about is webinars like we're doing now. Like TxDLA puts together a webinar at least once a month. But what other things besides webinars can you do to start gaining those skills that could actually be put into your SMART goal? Anybody have thoughts? And hopefully, with where you're writing everything down or typing things out, you're putting that information, even if you're not telling me. Um, what would you? So I'm going to throw out another one. Okay, Tammy's coming on.
Rhonda, I'm sorry. I could write and write and write. I hope other people, they please chime in. My SMART goals, they are very specific and they are multi-step. So it is, like you said, looking at it on a monthly minimum uh, basis because there are, I just pulled up my SMART goals, and because I am the digital accessibility coordinator. I mean, I don't know if anybody wants to see it, but it's very specific. So, I mean, it's developing flow charts and processes and policies. And so each one of those little pieces are its progress on a monthly basis. So at the end of the year, it's not just one big thing that I've created, it's lots of things. So, I'm interested in finding out how other people do it. If I know that I need to develop process flows, you can help by educating yourself on what are the best ways of developing processes. Research other universities, reach out, make some contacts. I'm interested in learning about what are the other individuals that are in this session. I am in digital accessibility. Are the others, are they faculty members? Are they training? Are they human resources? What are their, where are they? What are they doing? Because I have to work with all of these individuals and the different teams.
Yeah, if anyone wants to open their mic or put into the chat kind of your position that you have, so we can kind of all see what people are doing. Um, but I know one of the things, Tammy, you mentioned is that you're going to end with some certifications along the way. And so
Yes.
certifications is a great way to obviously learn your skills and your competencies. Um, and so, like TxDLA, we have our web accessibility certification. I don't know if you've been through that, Tammy, or not.
18 months ago, yes, ma'am, I completed your DAC.
Perfect. And
For
we
the
are
administration track. Yes.
well, we are working on part two of that. So,
Woo!
yeah, keep an eye out for that. But
Okay.
we are also working on other certifications. If anyone is interested in putting a certification together with us, we are our certificate with us. We would love to talk to you. But we're looking at doing everything from how to be an how to be an online trainer or instructor or teacher. How to the basics of AI, AI prompting, um, are going toward engineering. So there's a lot of things that we have on the roadmap. Talk about roadmap for certifications within or certificates within Texas DLA. So definitely keep an eye out that. But there's so many between the Online Learning Consortium to, I mean, there's so many things out there that people can do, even ATD, IEEE. I mean, there's so many things out there that you can learn. But along with certificates and webinars, um, there may be other courses that people take that they want to look at. There's so many online courses that's out there now that people can take. You can do a Coursera course or an edX course. I mean, there's lots of those types of online courses out there. Um, and there's also a lot of certifications that's come about, especially in the technology side, when it comes to Google or Microsoft or Apple or a lot of the technologies that we have out there or the companies has their own certifications. And so you can always go and learn more there as well. One of the things that I like to do when I'm doing this is actually track what I'm doing. So I think Tammy, you're kind of looking at that. You know, I I am a spreadsheet junkie, and so everything I do is put into a spreadsheet. And so, what are one of the things that I like to do is put my SMART goals down on like on the left hand side, and then across maybe dates or some kind of um, point where I am going back and seeing where I am. Um, there's, I mean, you can just do a spreadsheet. There's also things like Trello that you can use to track. I mean, there's so many different, and there's smart sheets. There's so many different things that you can use to actually track what you are doing, depending on how specific you want to get with it. Kind of goes along with project management, right? You are actually project managing your own professional development when you're doing that, and being able to really see, what you're doing, where you're going, and what you still need to do to be able to do that. Looks like some people put some stuff over here in the chat, which I love. Um, okay, so Leroy, full stack development. Um, yeah, there seems to be the actual system technology positions have a lot of great certifications in it. Um, oh, yes. So great goal, Leroy. Being able to really kind of focus in on the different um, platforms or different experiences, especially if you're doing full stack development, which I love. Josephine, no, I love that. So one of the things, obviously, I mentioned at the beginning of this was our conference. We try to do a lot of different tracks within our conference that actually lend well to some of this that y'all are talking about. So hopefully y'all are able to join us because that would be amazing. Leadership challenge training. I would love to hear more about that. Yeah, so that definitely the accessibility course is amazing that we have. A lot of people have gone through it, but a PMP certification is also great. So these are amazing goals and ways to kind of track what that looks like, and really thinking about what is that roadmap? How are you going to get there, and understanding that your SMART goal, understanding the skills that you're going to gain from those, that will lead to your overarching goal. So we already kind of talked about certifications. So navigating certifications, really trying to figure out how to create kind of a digital path for you when it comes to being able to show what you know. Um, and certifications is a great way to do that, because, and also now that a lot of people use badges, so you can take you can earn a badge. So Texas DLA is working on putting our badging system together, so that way when you get one of our certificates, you also get a badge with that. And again, it's a great way to display it on LinkedIn or whatever we're doing, whatever wherever you want to display it, even on your resume nowadays, you can put it on there. And if people can go to it, read more about it. So there's that backing behind what those skills and competencies that you have gained through that. So the other thing that I think is incredibly important through this entire process, and a couple of people have mentioned it, is actually creating a personal learning network, having people to be able to go to when you need to know more about something or understand, um, how do I um, how can I gain the skill? What does that look like? Do you know of any certifications that I can do or certificates? Do you, um, being able to bounce your ideas and your goals off of other people so they can even help you along with that journey. Many times I like to work with my colleagues and my supervisor to be able to do that. So that way, one, they know what I'm working toward, but also it creates that network, that uh, that grouping that you can be able to, that support system. That's what I'm trying to, that is the word I'm trying to look for. So being able to have that support system that you have. Thank you, Josephine, for more information on the leadership challenge. It sounds really interesting. I need to look that up. Um, and being able to then turn around and teach others, um, is great. I love that. And so, you know, so in your chart that your journey that you are charting right now, um, who are those people? What is that network? Is it a association like Texas DLA, or is it your work? Is it another group that you belong to? Many years ago, actually at a conference, a group of us um, met, and we continue to meet all the time to support each other on the different goals and our career paths that we're doing. And so it doesn't have to be just, your work people or friends, or it could be a group that you end up putting together along the way to create this support system that you have. So, what support system do you have when you're looking at each one of your goals, your SMART goals, when you're looking at your skills and your competencies that you want to obtain? Who would you go to? Or what would be the group that you would focus on to help you get there? So, if anyone would like to share what that may look like for you, that would be awesome. Um, or if anyone has a PLN, an actual formal personal learning network that you belong to. Um, I know that if you're a K-12 teacher, the many school districts actually put PLNs together for teachers to support each other, to help with, you know, lesson planning and organizing what they're doing. And sometimes those are by topic, especially if you're in secondary, but even elementary teachers sometimes gets together as this is all the first grade teachers come together and talk about the challenges that they're having and the things that they need to do to understand where they need to go and help the students. Um, so anybody is there anyone that has a PLN that would like to share? UPSIA is a great group, but oh, the Higher Education Conferences and Professional Network events. That's great, Jennifer. Yeah, I love. There was one association that I belong to that um, they specifically put PLNs together that so when especially if someone was brand new into that association, they could sign up for that particular PLN and immediately start meeting people that had the same interests they do, or are working on the same things they are, or actually work in the same field that they do. TxDLA has done that some with like instructional designers get together, or they uh, maybe administrative system administrators together. Yeah, so mentoring programs are great. Actually, TxDLA has put together a mentoring program. So if you are part of TxDLA, which I hope you are, you can become a mentee, and we would match you up with a mentor that that aligns with what you want to do. Um, oh, I love that. The State Agency Coordinating Committee. That's great. Tammy belongs to a lot. Now, these are great ways to really kind of um, find your group, right? Find your niche on that support system around you. Those are amazing. Yeah, but again, if you are part of TxDLA and would love to be part of the mentoring system, keep an eye on the different certificates that we're putting together. Um, and especially in the digital learning arena, right? And then other groups that you may want to be a part of. Sorry, looking back through the chat, make sure I didn't miss anything. No, that's great. Um, and so with that PLN, um, one of the other things that I think about a lot is how do I like if I know I need to be part of a specific type of PLN, maybe I'm really working on the leadership skills, right? I love that. I think it was Jennifer that was getting part of PSIA. Um, how can you, when you're getting into a new skill set that you may not have, how do you find that PLN? How do you go about doing that? And I think it's really looking at the associations that are out there, like UPSIA or TxDLA or um, OLC or WCET. I mean, there's a lot of different ones out there that then you can find, okay, this is the specific group that I need to be part of. So final tips and takeaways. So what takeaways did you find? So when you were looking through, hopefully you're writing all this down, thinking about your goals, those skills and competencies, what are those specific SMART goals that you're going to use to get those skills and competencies, and thinking about your PLN that you're going to utilize while you're going through this process. What takeaways did you find? Or what tips can you share with us that maybe you have um, you've done something that's like, I think this can work for other people too. Um, as you think about that, you can throw it in the chat or you can come off mute. Um, but the other thing is the continuing improving, continue to improve. Seek feedback from people, constantly ask, um, you know, where am I at? What am I doing? Where am I going? And who can I talk to about it? Reflect on your performance, which is what I just did. Explore new techniques. And I love that in our field because I think digital learning constantly has ways to learn new techniques because there's technologies that come out and we all have to learn those specific things. Now, there are things that skills that will translate from one to the other, but there's others that may not. Setting your personal goals, just like we're doing today, and iterate and adapt as we're going. Um, so I don't know if anyone wants to share any takeaways or tips that you have. This is kind of a quiet group. So I do want to thank you. Would love to connect with you. I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook, and or you can email me or send me a text. Um, One of the things I like to do is make sure that we have um, a village, and it takes a village to continue down the path. Thank you, Leroy, for sending yours. Perfect. We'll definitely connect.